Good afternoon, everyone. This is Matt over at Milestone Capital Growth Portfolio. Today is Thursday, April 24th. Taking a look at the market here today. It was a wild day, of course, just like it is just about every single day. It's wild up, wild down. 16.5 was 16.450 was the low today. The high was up here at 16.540. Closed down here right around 16.5, 16.502. It looks like a red day tomorrow with this this double top here, and then you closed underneath the body of this candle from the previous day. So it looks like we're going to be heading down. Relative strength index is right at 47 right now, and get a little crossover going on with the 5-day moving average. So see what happens, but I think we're going to go red tomorrow. Your truck and money flow is also leveled off and is starting to curl to the downside, so we'll see what happens there. SPY, on the other hand, SPY has, let me get rid of these here, SPY has moved up and then down, and then the body actually closed higher with a red body for some strange reason. It's just a wild stock, and the S&P 500 is going all over the place. So the low was 186.93, the high was 188.38, and right now after hours it's pretty much trading flat at the top of this hammer also on this candle. So we'll see what happens tomorrow, but I do think it's going to be a red day. You can see money, truck, and flow is just level here, getting ready to cross down below. When that happens, it gets a little more aggressive to the downside. We'll have to wait and see what happens. Relative strength index is also at 47, so that's your SPY. I want to take a look at a couple of stocks that we were talking about today with options. There's about 5 of them we'll talk about. There's about 10 that were alerted, but this was in the chat room today, so let's start with BRCM. BRCM, we were looking at May 17th calls with a strike at $32. They were 51 cents. And at this point right now, this has really moved up and looking beautiful. Had a 50-day moving average was the base on this one, and broke through that and started moving higher. If you notice, you don't have that downtrend line anymore. It has been broken. So you are in an uptrend right now. Great volume coming into it. Your truck and money flow has moved to the upside, and your relative strength index at 49 is starting to curl to the upside very nicely. So BRCM has a nice shot to get up here to this 31, maybe this double top here, 32.01 on a nice move. We'll have to keep an eye on that one. So BRCM, nice move off this low here. Let's keep an eye on this one. Looks good. MNK, another one here. MNK was May 17th, strike 70. Those cost $265. Broke solid on nice volume today with solid through the 50-day moving average. Coming up here to break this double top here, and it's going to hit some resistance right around 70.44. So we had strategic reasons why we're picking the prices that we are. There's a little bit of resistance here, and I think the reason why it was coming into this area right here. You can see that your trend line, and that's why it stopped and pulled back a little bit, but it's definitely an uptrend pattern, and you can really see by the truck and money flow coming into this, and then the relative strength index starting to move to the upside. Taking a look at a weekly time frame real quick on this one also, really set up nice to get another candle like this. This was today's. Get another one like that. Perfect. Break right out over this double top here, stretching it out. I mean, this thing is it's getting ready to really get rolling here to the upside, but it looks good all the way from 40. Nice consolidation break and then trend to the upside. Little pullback, also held 100-day moving average there. So keep an eye on this one. This one looks like it could be a money maker. All right, Tesla. Everybody loves Tesla. Tesla's a swinger, but today Tesla tried to move to the upside and really couldn't get going. Your relative strength index is down here at 39, so there is more room to the downside on this one. Taking a look at your trend line, and it's using it. All right, it keeps coming up and acting as resistance. So that's why you want to pull this in when you get up to something like this. You definitely want to position yourself for puts if it doesn't break through on serious volume. Okay, your 50-day moving average is you're below that now. So, and you see your 200 sitting down here. So the 20. The 20 was in the way today. Simple moving average was in the way, or middle Bollinger Band. It just couldn't get going over it, and it closed at the low of this candle here. So it's definitely in a position that it could drop to the downside. There is a little gap right here, but this one was filled by this. So there's really there's really nothing I see other than this little gap down here at 129, and I do suspect that is going to be the target for this one. In the longer term, I think we're going to trend this all the way out and follow this all the way down, this pattern, until we get down and close this gap, and then probably get a bigger move to the upside. So if we stretch this out a little bit, you could probably see August, we're probably going to be in that area at the current rate of this drop here. So we have this gap here, and of course we have a larger gap down here. These high flyers really took off, and as the market's starting to get weaker, these are starting to drop, as you can see with Netflix and so on and so forth. So we'll go over that one because we've been in that one for a couple of days in the puts, and we'll go over that one after the next one. So Tesla, we took puts for May 2nd. We went with the 200 for 360. So the 200 seems very reasonable right here, as you can see this wick right here. But it'll probably come down and test 192. Could be a lucrative trade to the downside unless there's some news or something that moves us to the upside. But right now it's a broken chart and needs a break, and will be coming down. And you just position yourself at the top of these channels. Then you sell out at the bottom and buy calls, and then you sell, and so on and so forth. But your 200-day moving average will be support after we get down in this area, and probably somewhere in this area next month. So keep an eye on Tesla for more downside move. All right, Cena. Cena, they had that news today, but the buyer stepped in and tried to pull her back up, and it looks like it could go up, but we'll see what happens tomorrow. I'm not too sure that it's going to go up. I think it's, it is oversold right now. Relative strength index at 33, but your choking money flow is starting to curl up a little bit. So it's definitely risky doing puts May 2nd. With a strike of 52.50, and they were 94 cents, so you can keep an eye on that one. So we stayed close, definitely stayed close for those puts. But there's a nice candle here. If we get something like this, we have something like this one, and then they held it again the following day, and then they moved it to the upside. So if it does have an upside move tomorrow, which I think it's going to sell off though, but if it does have an upside move tomorrow, we'll be looking at the middle Bollinger Band around 56 to reposition for puts. As you can see, it's been in the way all the way through, so that would be a fine position. But just in case we gap down and die out tomorrow. But if not, if it starts moving to the upside, grab some calls, ride it up to this 56, and then grab some puts and ride it back down, because the middle Bollinger Band here, the 20 simple moving average, exponential moving average, is definitely in the way there for Cena. All right, Netflix. Netflix has been very rewarding, very rewarding. We in the chat room, we were gathering puts up here, and then the news and everything else, and this thing just failed. It did bounce today a little bit over the 200-day moving average. I don't think it's going to hold support because we have the middle bully here, right here, that was acting as resistance. So I think it's a good time to position for more downside. Even though your relative strength index is at 47, you still have plenty of room for more downside. But as you can see, you had this buying here after this big, and we expected that because of this hammer. So you had your calls, and then when it hit the upper Bollinger Band, that was your put trigger. And then when it broke through the middle bully, that was even better. So we definitely have more downside. And looking here, as I said up here at this cluster of tops, the gap was going to get filled. All gaps get filled, and it was a very lucrative trade for us. It's still a broken chart and heading south. Okay, way down here is a gap on Netflix. It's a long-term target, 179. You can't draw it out yet because of the candles. I mean, if you look at the monthly, you'll be able to see a little bit clearer on the dramatic decrease that it has. So that 179, that's where this line is here, is right in line with your 50-day moving average at this point. So if you're looking at your monthly, it's still broken. You're not above this candle right here. It's definitely a pullback. Now, if you wanted to project this out and plan this, the closest way possible, you can use your candles like that, and this is going to be a fast drop. Okay, so you're looking at July to be at the 179. That's how you plan your trades, okay? So if this continuation, because it's going to act as resistance, we'll need one more candle to confirm it, though, on the monthly. But you can go back to your weekly and utilize that one instead, which is very important. Now, this video is getting a little bit long, but if you look at your weekly here, see how we're finishing this week off with this big, ugly hammer right here? That tells you it's coming back down. Your only support is a 50-day moving average at 322, so I think May 2nd strike of 327. $327.50. They cost $350. I think you'll be hitting that without any problem next week. So, and you'll be in the money. So that's what we're looking at for our option trades, plus several others. But we did that in the chat room. I just figured I'd share that with everybody. All right, this is Matt over at Milestone Capital Growth Portfolio. Members, we're doing a killer video tonight on a nice ETF that'll be very lucrative for you. We're going to break into a sector and see what we can dig out of that, and we'll pull some good trades out of that. So if you're not a member, join up. May 1st, we're going to have a price increase, so do it right now. We have another class tonight taking place where Ray is going to host for a roundtable, and we're going to review last week's charting and any questions that the flow chart has brought to anybody will be taken care of. All right, this is Matt. Have yourself a great night. See you in chat tomorrow.